failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
My message to any dad, man, first off, know that, yeah, it is a hard job, but it's the greatest job in the world. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't change anything about it. Everything you're doing from here on out, if it didn't have purpose before, now it has purpose. It's the most important thing you'll ever do. Just be a dad.
Welcome to another episode of That Is Not A Noun. My name is Ishmael, changing the narrative for men of color fatherhood, as well as changing the narrative on the things I care about. And I have a special guest with me. This video of an amazing father having an intimate moment with his son. This video has blown up. You saw it on Black Man Can, The Dad Game, even on Attorney Crump's social media. So this intimate moment he had with his son is just inspiring other dads to do the same thing. And I have him with me today. Coach A, thank
What's
you
up,
for coming
brother?
on.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Hey,
How
man,
you doing?
I'm good, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the invite to be on your platform. And I just appreciate all the love and support that me and my family have been receiving. It's just greatly appreciated. And, we just want to send a shout out and a big thank you to everybody that's showing love,
No, definitely. This question I ask all my guests because I'm an advocate of mental health, especially in our community. So I'm
Right.
gonna throw this question to you. How's your heart at this moment?
My heart's good. My heart's good. Because my sons are good. So my heart's good.
That's good. And speaking as a father, man, that's all you need to say. If your kids are good, then you're good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that video, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up, I'm born and raised in Waterbury, Connecticut, the tri-state area. Went to high school, went to Sacred Heart High School, one of the best schools in the city, especially for football at the time. Loved it, childhood was okay, ups and downs and things of that nature. But, typical childhood, went to college, went to University of Fitchburg State, went there for 3 years, graduated with my degree in sociology. I moved to Florida. I lived in Florida, South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Pembroke Pines, Broward County. I worked in Fort Lauderdale, lived in Pembroke Pines, was down there for a year. Then I moved to the DMV, and I was there for 20 years, where I established myself, had my family. I was married at the time. I got married. So I got a stepdaughter who's awesome, amazing. She's great. She's 28 now. She graduated from Virginia State University. Got my two sons. We moved. Well, they attended high school in D.C., for 2 years. Well, my oldest 2 years, my youngest 1 year, Archbishop Carroll. Great school, great school. Football program was great. Track program was even greater. Coach Ra, the track coach up there, is lights out. I mean, you talking elite. He's elite. That's my guy. But we had to make a move. Football is their thing, and when I feel that grown men who are responsible for being makers of men and having integrity, when you're coaching young men, when I feel you don't have that, it's time for me to move on. So that was prompted to move to Charlotte, and the rest is history. You know what I mean? Face some of the same obstacles that we faced with the previous staff, but football staff. But once again, the track coach here is elite, immaculate. Coach Will, that's my guy. He's from Baltimore, so that's my guy right there. That's just like my brother. So, but everything else is good. I work for CMA. I work with children. I've been a football coach for over 20 years, helping out the youth, especially in DC and Southeast. I impacted many children's lives in a positive way and their parents. Actually, I think on one of the IG posts, you get one of my former players to say, "Hey, that's my coach," and one of my favorite teammates. So, I mean, like I said, the love and support that we've been getting is great, but that was just me being me. Right. That's just me being me. My sons would tell you, like, that's just my dad. My dad is always like that. My philosophy with them, even with the children that I've come in contact with, is pretty much, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm never gonna waste a moment. Every moment is a teachable moment, no matter how big, small, or in between or indifferent. Every moment is a teachable moment. And us as fathers, Black fathers, we have to capitalize on every minute teaching our children, our young boys and our young girls, teaching them values and things of that nature. Some stuff that maybe we wasn't taught, but we picked up along the way. But it's important that we get back to certain things, just like get back to the village concept. Yep. Let's get back to that. It was a time where in the community, everybody was responsible for everybody's children. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You did something wrong before you got home, you got scolded about 3-4 times by the elders in the community. So when you got home, it was like it had already touched down. Your parents already knew what had occurred, what you did before you even walked through that door. And but yeah, I just wanted to say that. But I played football as well in high school, in college. So, it comes easy for me to coach and just give back because I've had some great coaches to coach me in my lifetime and gave back to me. So it's only fair that I do the same. And my first coach, I read a comment where it was a comment, and I'm paraphrasing. It says something like, "I'm crying because I have daddy issues."
Wow.
So I'm not going to really address the comment per se, but I'm just going to make a statement. Right. I was raised by my father, right? I was raised by my father. I made the decision to go live with my father when I was like 9 years old. Right. My father was always present, even when I wasn't living directly in his house. You know what I'm saying? My father is my hero. That is my guy, right? That's my guy. And I miss him daily. You know what I'm saying? He's transitioned on, but I am who I am because he is who he was, the man that he was. So I had a blueprint of what a man is supposed to be and what a man is supposed to do. My father left me, the playbook, great foundation, so I'm just pretty much reading, reading from the chapters that from the book that he gave me. Of course, I'm gonna add my own little stuff to it, You know what I'm saying? But I'm always going to stick to the format, to the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? So I'm call it plagiarism. That's what I'm doing. He left me the book. I'm like, yeah, Dad, I got that. I'm playing this one off as my own.
Right.
But yeah, no daddy issues.
Right.
No daddy issues. So when I said my father didn't bring me or couldn't bring me to college, it's because he couldn't, because he didn't have the means. He didn't have the means. Means mean he didn't have a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Bring me to school. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't affect me. You know what I'm saying? Because my father is my father. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And we've been through some things, like, you know, some things, and my father made reference to it to one of my brothers, was like, you know, he felt bad that I had to go through certain things. He said, but he never complained about it. He just kept trucking. Because that's my pops. You know what I'm saying? That's my father. I love that dude. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's my hero. Period. You know what I'm saying? Some people gotta, you know, like all these Marvel movies. I had a real life Black Panther in my house. You feel me? I had that. You know what I'm saying? My father was a man who sat down and met with Malcolm, spoke to Malcolm. You know, so I had a foundation on certain things already. So so definitely no daddy issues. So I just wanted to put that out there. I wanted to clear the air. So definitely no daddy issues.
No, definitely. I think that was important that you put that out there, because again, people take things out of context.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll take it and they'll run with it and make it their own thing. So I
Right.
appreciate you bringing that up. But also just talk a little bit about your pop. Like, just talk about, like, what are some of the father gems that he bestowed onto you that you put to your kids now?
My father used to always tell me, don't be a stranger to hard work. You know, don't be a stranger to hard work, and don't talk about what you're gonna do. Just do it.
Right.
He said nothing can speak louder, nothing can speak more louder for you than your game. Right? Than your game.
Yeah.
You know? And he always used to tell me you can't expect people to do what you would do.
Yeah.
He's like, so, you know, you may do one thing and you may think that person would do what you would do, but everybody's different.
Right.
You know, everybody's different, man. And my father, you know, he just taught me by actions. You know, some not necessarily by words, by actions. You know what I'm saying? So my father was married at 19. You know what I'm saying? My father was married at 19. You know, my pops had like a seventh grade education. You know, he was married at 19. My father had two businesses. You know, he had two nightclubs. You know, one when I was probably wasn't born, but one that I do remember because I remember going in there. So my father had two nightclubs. My father was successful at one point in time. You know, he had 8 children.
Wow.
He had 8 children. You know what I'm saying? 5 girls and 3 boys. You know what I mean? So my father was a man of many things.
Right.
And being present was one of them.
Right.
You know, he was present at everything for all his children. Whatever they was involved in, he was there. Whether it was my sister playing basketball for Crosby High School, or both of my 2 sisters running track, or one of my brothers playing in the band, or another one of my brothers playing playing football at one particular time, my father was always present. He was always there. You know, so then when I came around, and then I got into football, and I fell in love with it like he fell in love with it. It was just something different. He was always there. So like I knew Friday night when I came out and I looked at a certain area of the stadium, I knew he was going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So just being present. A lot of times it's not what you say, it's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, for us fathers. You know, being a man, it's not everything about what we got to say. It's just your actions and being there on a consistent basis. Sometimes it does a lot. You know what I'm saying? To look up in the stand and see your people's there is good. You know, and he just told me, you know, he always told me, you choose your friends. Don't let your friends choose you. He said, because when they don't want to be your friend no more, they just won't. They won't talk to you. They will just kick you to the curb. so to speak, you know? So he always told me, man, you know, you pick your friends. Don't let your friends pick you. So, you know, it's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him, you know. And I guess on that moment, I thought about, like, man, I wonder if he's proud of
Oh
the
yeah,
man that I've become. And is he proud of his grandsons from me?
right.
Like, you know, I ask myself those questions all the time. Like, I don't have no regrets, but I have one regret that I never asked him something, you know, because I took it for granted. Like, you know, my father he's here, he's not going
Right.
nowhere. You know what I mean? So, but there's only one regret that I have, and that's never asking him why he gave me the nickname that he gave me. So
Mm.
I never asked him, you know. That's something I always wondered, wow, like why, you know what I mean? But other than that, my father was a great man, you know. My father was well respected in the city, you know. So, you know, I light up when I talk about my pops, you know.
No, I
Oh,
can see it in your face, man.
like, for
It's a
real.
yeah, that's a beautiful thing to see is that you're a reflection of your dad. And I'm a spiritual person. I believe that there's little signs that he's around you, like that those little whispers in your ear when you don't know like where's this coming from.
Right.
That's your dad. You know what I mean? I don't know if you want to share it, but what's the nickname he gave you?
He used to call me Magic.
Okay,
Yeah, he used to call me Magic.
okay.
So
I,
look, funny part, look. So I could always tell, right? I can always tell when my father was upset with me
right,
because he wouldn't call me Magic.
right.
Right? He wouldn't call me Magic. So I always knew when he was upset because he wouldn't call me Magic. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's one thing that I regret not asking him. Like, yo, pops, why you call me Magic? Where you get that from?
I,
But
to me, I'm just gonna put it out there. I think he called you magic because he knew you were going to be a great leader. You were going to lead, and in as a coach, you're a
right,
leader. So when I think of Magic, I think of Magic Johnson, the point guard. He's the leader. He's the quarterback. You know what I mean? So
right, right,
you're the quarterback of young men. You know what I mean? You inspire the next generation. You know what I mean? So a lot of those kids, when they go on and move on and do their thing, they're gonna always remember Coach A.
right, right, right.
So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna put that in the air. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm gonna just put that in there.
I could rock with that. I could rock with that for sure. You know what I'm saying? I could go with that.
Dope, dope. And then also, let's get into the video, man. This video has gone viral. We've seen it everywhere. Just the level of vulnerability, even though you say you do that all the time. There's nothing new. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
just you're talking to your kid and getting videotape. I know you probably wasn't even paying attention. It was just in that moment. So just take me into that intimate moment with your son. Talk about it.
Well, you know, man. Just reading some of the comments, right? Like the majority of the comments are like love, nothing
Yes.
but love and respect. I love it. You know, but you get some comments where, you know, they feel it was staged and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, for one, a brother didn't even know I was being recorded. I didn't know mom was even recording it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know,
Right.
right? I didn't even know. Um, and if it wasn't, and if I did know, it don't change the message, right?
Yes.
It doesn't change the message. So when I let off with my father, you know, like I said, my father couldn't bring me to college and everything.
Right.
It's like, you know, when you see, like, you know, when you watch a movie and sometimes they'll show you like a flashback of a person's whole life.
Yes.
In that moment, see, and this is what they don't understand the backdrop of why I was so emotional. Because technically, my son he's not supposed to be here.
Wow.
My son went into total renal failure 7 days on this planet.
Wow.
Total renal failure, completely. Kidneys shut down. Um, and I had a real life John Q moment up at Children's Hospital in DC, minus the gun.
Wow.
No gun. But I had the whole ER on pins and needles. Like, we gonna find out what's going on. We're gonna see, boom. So, like that just went through my mind, man. And when we finally got upstairs and they plugged him up to the machines and everything, and we asked the doctor, is our son gonna make it?
Right.
And that doctor looked at us and said, I honestly don't know.
Wow.
Mind you, that's my first natural born, right? And I was like, nah. I was like, the universe don't work like this. Like, no, it don't. No. So I remember going to the side of his bed and whispering in his ear. And I told him, I said, no, you're gonna be all right. I said, because they don't understand. You come from great stock. You come from a long line of great, great people. I said, so you gonna be fine.
Right.
So with all that being said, like, when he had the surgery and everything and getting his stuff together, a doctor told us, he was gonna be on medication for the rest of his life.
Right.
He gonna need a kidney transplant by the age of 5. When he get to 30 pounds, we may have to take one of your kidneys and give to him.
Wow.
So he's 19 now. He's been off of medication since he was 3 years old.
Wow.
He still has both his kidneys, even though technically he has stage 2 kidney disease,
Right.
but his kidneys are fine. He's cleared to play. He's always been able to play.
Right.
But it was touch and go. Like, had to make sure he drank 5 ounces of fluid every day.
Right.
And he had to go get labs every Friday. He had to go get his blood drawn to check his protein levels, his creatinine levels. So anybody out there that knows about kidneys and your creatinine levels, a normal creatinine level is like 0.0 to like 0.5. So when that happened, his was like 3 point something, like off the charts. So just all of that stuff, and he had to get sonograms on his bladder and ultrasound on his kidneys and his bladder. Like, so remembering all of that, and he almost not being here. Because I remember vividly one of the doctors told us, like, yeah, he would have stopped crying if you would have kept him home. He would have stopped crying, but he would have been dead in that crib.
Wow.
He would have been dead. So when I dropped him off, I started to remember all of that.
Right.
And I started to remember how when I said no one believed in you, like the doctors, except for his primary care physician, but some of his football coaches outside of myself, my man Coach Jay and Coach Barry and Coach Josh Morgan, who's a former NFL player that played for Washington.
Right.
Like, no, everybody else doubted him because he was the shortest, but he was always one of the best, one of the most skilled, one of the fastest, and with the most heart. He was just shorter. So everybody counted him out. And he would prove them all wrong all the time. So just remembering that, man, and just talking to him and like, yo.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. It happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
But just remembering all of that, like where he came from, like his start.
Right.
His start to where he is now, because he's not finished. It's just another chapter in his book, in his story. But just remembering that, like, I remember when he signed, when National signed the day after school, and he was like, "Yo, Dad," he said, "I remember all them early workouts. I remember all them early workouts." And he was like, "Yeah, we made it." He said, "This is what we do all this for." Like, yo, a lot of people didn't think I could make this. Even some of his high school coaches, past and present.
Right.
Past and present. You know what I'm saying? Didn't believe in his abilities and his talent. Knowing he's one of your better players on your team, but you still doubting him. Right. So all of that was sitting up in here when I'm talking to him and just seeing what he's done, all the work, all the hard work that he's done. It's never been easy for him. It's always something that Nassor, obstacle that Nassor had to cross and deal
Right.
with. And to his credit, he handled it. He don't talk much. He don't talk much. He don't talk about himself. Right. You know what I'm saying? He don't brag on himself. He's quiet. He's humble. Unless you say something to him, and then he'll defend himself. But other than that, he doesn't brag on himself. Right. So just watching him from birth to now and all in between, the young man that he's become and becoming, it hit me hard. Like, yo, like we got a special, you know what I'm saying? We got a special connection. We got a special bond because he started out rough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He started out rough, you know? So my relationship with him is different with my other son. Right. Now, I love both of them the same. I love my younger son too, love him to death. But my relationship with his older brother is different because the circumstances is different. Even with my stepdaughter, it's different. Right? It's different. So when we dropped him off, and it was just a microcosm, I just thought about all that stuff, and it was like, bro, like, yo, yeah, you are a king. Wow. That's what you are. You know what I'm saying? That's what you are, and carry yourself as such. Have a king's mentality. Have a king's mentality. Watch the people you hang out with. You know what I'm saying? And when things don't look like they're going your way, because he's had some situations where he's like, I'm like, and you calm down, you take a step back and you think, because you always got to move, bro. You always got to move. But you got to think first. You know what I'm saying? Think, strategize before you make that move. So you make sure you're making the right move, you know? And regardless what anybody think, yeah, you are a king. And you know what I'm saying? I'm a king. So I'm raising you to be a king. Yeah. I'm raising my son, my younger son, to be a king. I've helped raise my stepdaughter to be a queen. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're not quote unquote royalty, but we're gonna act like we're royalty.
You know what? You are royalty. Don't shut yourself short. You are royalty. We come from royalty.
Yeah, so that's the message. That's the positive message that I instilled in all of them. But in that moment, just dropping him off, it's like I've been in charge for 19 years with your well-being. That fell on me. Right. Your safety, all of that fell on me. For the first time in my life, I got to relinquish that to other men, your college coaches. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm still in charge, but you're going to be around them much more than you are me. So, an hour speech or 30 minutes, like, no, I've been giving him these type of talks his whole life. Right. So he knows. He knows what I expect. Right. He knows what I expect. And I remember one time he told his mom, he was like, yo, he said, I want to make my father proud. Wow. He said, every son should want to make their father proud. Yeah. He said, but I want to make my father proud. You know, like even if we had a track meet one time and I feel he didn't perform like up to the standard that I know he could perform. Right. He'd talk to his mom. He'd be like, Dad disappointed, ain't he? Right. She'd be like, yeah, a little bit, because, you know, you didn't. He'd be like, yeah, I'm going to make it up to him in my next race. So, you know, my sons, they want to make me proud. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. And when they do it, trust me, I'm ultra proud when they do what they do. I was tough on them. Like I said to him, yo, I was tough. I know I was tough on you. Right. But the world ain't easy. Facts. So I was preparing you for that. The world ain't gonna reason with you. The world ain't gonna ask you how was your day. The world don't care. It's gonna give it to you. So I'm teaching you how to navigate in this concrete jungle. And that's what I've done. And that's what my whole talk to him was about. But you know, it was a moment like, yo, that's my guy. I'm relinquishing you to some other men now.
Right.
You know, some other men. But I want you to know this is who you are and carry yourself as such. And it's time for us to start tradition.
Yeah.
You know, because it's been lost.
Yeah.
Any traditions that we did have it's been lost and hasn't been passed down like it should be or like it is in other cultures. So in this family, we're gonna start one, and that's what we're gonna do with that king piece,
I
you
like
know.
that. Yeah.
And when my stepdaughter get married, you know, I'll give her a queen piece.
Mm.
You know, I give her a queen piece.
Yeah.
You know, so when it's, you know, she have children, you know, she passed that down to her daughter. You know what I'm saying? And it stays, you know. But tradition, like I said, tradition has to start somewhere. So I'm starting it today, you know, period. It has to start somewhere. So why not today? Why not us?
Yeah.
Why not the Ashenafi family start one for our family?
Yeah.
So 50 years from now, 100 years from now, if them pieces still in the family, they'd be like, Baba Minna had started this many years ago.
Yeah.
And this piece has been in our family since then. Period. That's what it's about. That's
No,
what it's about. You
no,
know, money's good. You know, money's good. You know, generational wealth is good. It is. It helps. It helps. But if I was a millionaire, right? Would I have spent time working out my sons, or would I pay trainers to do it?
yeah.
You see, that's so when
Right.
I'm working them out, that's more time I'm building that bond. I'm molding my boys. You know what I'm saying? So that's more time that I'm spending with them.
Right.
Not saying that I wouldn't if I was a millionaire, whatever. But if I was, what if I didn't? What if I just paid somebody, trainers and stuff like that to come do it? That's time missing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like I explained, I'm not about wasting their time at all. You know, things are getting real out here for us. So we can't play these games with our children. You know, we can't play these games. We can't pacify them. We can't sugarcoat stuff for them. Like we gotta be straight with them and be straight up and honest and real with them. Tell them what it is and what it's not. So when we send them out into the real world, they're prepared to handle it.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think I think the most powerful thing from this conversation is the symbolism. You know, that piece.
Right.
That's history.
Yeah.
That piece has a story to tell. And so your story of how you came up and how your father raised you is in that piece,
Right.
that king piece. And now you're bestowing it to your son. And now he has that history. And now he's responsible for that history and that legacy of the family.
Yeah. Protect the
Yeah.
king, bro.
Perfect.
Protect the king, which means protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Protect
that's a
it.
protected, man. And brother, I appreciate you for coming on, man. This means the
Oh,
world to me that you took the time to come on and share your story. Because a lot of people don't, you weren't a part of the algorithm. You
right.
know, they saw your video, but they don't know behind the story.
Right.
And
Right.
so you to come on to share your personal story, that means the world to me.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I definitely do. And like once again, like I said, I appreciate everybody out there that's seen the video and showing love and respect. You know, the family, we appreciate it. Trust us, we do. We appreciate it. It's hey, if we don't get to your comments and respond to it or like it's so many. Trust me, it's so many. So if we don't comment and we just give a like because it's just so many. But we definitely want all of y'all to know that we truly appreciate y'all from showing love and spreading the video. And, you know, hey, keep it moving. Keep spreading it. You know what I'm saying? Keep spreading it, keep passing it. Because to me, it's a message that needs to be heard. Everybody needs to see it. Everybody needs to hear it. And, hopefully they all take something positive from it. And if that's something that they want to start, then so be it. You know what I mean? It's all good. You know what I mean? We have a bunch of king pieces out here to pass along.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's nothing wrong with that, man. It's nothing wrong with that. But once again, we definitely appreciate the love.
Definitely. So how can people find you?
I'm on TikTok. Coach Ashenafi, A Black 2124. I'm also on IG, A Black 2124. That's the same screen name I think on Twitter, which is called X now, and Facebook is just my first name and last name. That's how they can find me.
Definitely. So all those links will be in the description below. Again, thank you for coming on. But I'm gonna let you. I pose this question to all the dads that come on here. All right, get ready.
Yep.
I'm a strong believer that fatherhood is a work of art.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. So through being a coach and playing football, how has that how were you able to apply that in your fatherhood?
Being consistency, being consistent and discipline, consistent means giving the same message over and over, because as a coach, your team needs discipline. Children want discipline, right? They want discipline. But to give it, you got to be disciplined yourself in everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? You got to practice what you preach to a degree. So if I get out there and I tell you to do a certain drill, then guess what? Coach A can get out there and do that drill with you. If I tell you to go ahead and run 5 sprints, Coach A can get out there and run 5 sprints with you. So it's all about, with me, just being consistent and disciplined. And I took that from playing ball, and I took that to fatherhood. And plus watching what my father did. My father was consistent. My father was disciplined. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I still watch how I move out, because I still don't want to embarrass his name. Right. I still don't want to embarrass him. You know what I mean? So I'm still trying to live up to his expectation of what he had for me when I was my son's age. Right. So, imitation is the best form of flattery. So that's what I'm doing. So I've taken that, and that's how I apply it to fatherhood. So just be consistent. Just be consistent in fatherhood. Whatever it is you do, whatever how you parent, how you father, just be consistent with it, because your children are watching you. Your children are watching. Trust me, they are. When you don't think they're paying attention, they are. They definitely watching, and they will bring it up years later. They'll bring up something that you may forgot about, like, yo, Dad, remember this time, da da da, and you'll be like, you was paying attention, like, yeah. So just be consistent, and appreciate and love being a father. That's right. Like, I love this. There's nothing more in this world that I love more than being a father. Like being a father. Like when I open my eyes up in the morning and put my feet on the floor, the first thing I'm thinking about is, how can I make my boys' lives better? You know what I'm saying? So I love being a father. Like, I remember real quick story. So I remember when my second son was born, when we went to the doctor's appointment, and the doctor was like, do you guys want to know what you're having? And mind you, I was kind of hesitant. Like with my first son, Nassor, right. I knew he was a boy. I just felt it. Right. I felt it. I just felt he was a boy. So when they say you're having a boy, I wasn't surprised. Right. So but with my second son, with Kafre, I was kind of weary, because right. His interaction in the womb, in the belly, was a lot different from his brothers. Right. So when the doctor said, "Do you want to know what you're having?" and I was like, she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah." And when she said, "Well, y'all having another boy," man, I jumped up. I said, "Woo!" I said, "Another boy. I'm 2 for 2, baby." So when we left, everybody in the waiting room heard me. Everybody heard me scream back there. It was a joyous moment. So I just say all that to say, man, I love being a father, man, and I hope all you brothers out there that are fathers really appreciate and enjoy fatherhood, man, because it's nothing better, man. It's nothing better than being a father. Then why, especially when you have children, and if they start to take interest in things that you're interested in, right. and they excel, Oh man, proud dad moments. Lots of them. Lots of them.
Definitely. And this has been a proud damn moment right here. You just sharing your story with me. Thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation here on the podcast. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we're out. Peace. All right,
Peace,
stay on
family.
all right. Stay on for one.